Hey everybody, welcome back to Guys Night Lab. I'm Jesus Velasquez, and I hope you've been having a great Christmas season, and welcome back to 12 Days of Christmas. But today is a very special episode because it's not just a 12 Days of Christmas, it is actually my 100th episode. Believe it or not, I've had 100 episodes for Guys Night Lab. Now, if you look at my actual page, it says I have 110 videos, but 10 of those videos are like bumper videos or promo videos or Merry Christmas, Happy Halloween, thankful videos. To my knowledge, I think I did the math right, and whether I did or not, this is going to be considered my 100th video. And so I thought it would be fun to review for my 100th video because I actually started, just a little history here. I actually started Guys Night Lab 10 years ago, like to the day. Well, almost to the day. To the day and 10 days. December 12th, 2013 is when I actually started doing the podcast. And I just figured, hey, you know what? Why don't I do something? I kind of wanted to do some specials and stuff like that. The funny thing is, my first video was 10 years ago. It was a Christmas special. And the Christmas special that I reviewed was All I Want for Christmas, a movie from 1991 that I'll go into in a bit, and Simpsons roasting on an open fire, the very first Simpsons episode, season 1, episode 1. But I made the movie 10 years ago, and then I didn't make my movie. I made my episode 10 years ago, and I didn't make my next episode until 4 years later. Which was my top 70 horror movies that I did with Jordan Zacharias. He's the one I always do with my Halloween things and everything, and that one came out on October 3rd, 2017. So it was like I said, 4 years later. But the funny thing was that when I first started Guys Night Lab, it wasn't Guys Night Lab, it was a four-way stop. And so the whole point of the podcast was to be four-way stop, intersection. There's going to be different topics. One intersection was going to be, movies and horror movies, and one was going to be video games, another one was going to be sports, and then another one was going to be, whatever else. But our channel kind of turned into, just reviewing horror movies and everything. I kind of went back to some 12 Days of Christmas as well, but it was mainly horror movies and reviewing scary movies and Halloween stuff. But throughout the years, we've done things of just other reviews, like some March Madness, but our bread and butter has always been like Halloween nights. But I've been trying to get better and add more videos, and we did the Halloween nights, and then Thankful for Thanksgiving, and now our 12 Days of Christmas. So for those of you who are new, I'm not claiming to be like some big podcaster. I have 84 subscribers, and that's awesome, and I'm trying to get to 100. But putting out 100 videos is a big accomplishment for me. But it's funny because like 10 years ago, this video was on Tumblr, not on YouTube, but I transferred, I think I lost some of my videos from Tumblr, and luckily I had the very first episode that I put. But yeah, so with a lot of the history, I'm going to be talking and reviewing my very first episode again, and talking about All I Want for Christmas, which is, like I said, it's a movie. Let's just get right into it because I'm going to review the same two movies that I did for episode 1, and I'm going to do it for episode 100. And it's going to be funny because you could go back and listen to the differences and to the similarities of the movie. But the differences are going to be the things that changed throughout the last 10 years. So anyways, without further ado, let's talk about What I Want for Christmas. So What I Want for Christmas is a movie that came out in 1991. And it's kind of like a romantic comedy, like I called it like a romantic family comedy. And it's a Christmas film, and it stars Leslie Nielsen, Kevin Nealon, Thora Birch, Ethan Embry, Laura McCall, a couple other people that you might recognize, and some others that you probably don't. The movie in itself it's not I wouldn't say it's a great movie. It's not a horrible movie. It's gotten terrible reviews. But the point of the movie is just that a daughter and son, Thora Birch and Ethan Embry, want to get their mom back together with their dad, and the parents are divorced. Ethan Embry's kind of more along for the ride. He's kind of like, yeah, he wants his parents back, but he's not like, it's not like his Christmas wish where Thora Birch tells Santa Claus that that's what she wants for Christmas. That's all I want for Christmas. And so then she tells Santa, and it kind of just, there's a lot of just like shenanigans that happen in the sense of like Parent Trap style. And Kevin Nealon is like the bad husband. It was funny because I watched this 10 years ago when I was 32, and it was on Netflix, and now it's like I can't even find it anywhere. I think it's on AMC Plus or whatever. But I was thinking of something. I was like, it's kind of like a Hallmark movie where like Kevin Nealon's like the big wig city guy, and then her ex-husband like owns like a diner or works there, and the kids like love him, and he's kind of like more blue collar. And so the whole movie pretty much is like they fall in love and all these things happen, and kind of like I said, the whole Parent Trap thing. If you've ever seen like Problem Child 2, that's another great thing, another great one of just kind of like this the children sabotaging the new romance relationship because they want to get their parents back together or whatever. And obviously Kevin Nealon's like not a horrible guy, but he's not a great guy. And then the mom is just kind of like settling or whatever. And then there's a side story where like Ethan Embry has a crush on this girl named Stephanie. But overall, the movie it's just pretty simple. I was like I said, I was watching it again, and I was a little checked out, but I just watched it for the sake of watching it. I mentioned this in episode 1, but I really liked this movie as a kid because I watched it at it was the last day of school before winter break, Christmas break. And like tomorrow's or Friday, today is my son's last day of school before Christmas break, and they're all like going in their pajamas and watching movies and whatnot. And so it's like it's still the same as that back in the 90s. That's what we did. It was like, oh, just throw in a movie. I don't want to be here. We're all checked out. We're ready for Christmas. And so I just remember like I loved it, and it left on a cliffhanger because we ran out of time. So I always wanted to know how it ended. And so that's why I checked it out when I was adult, and I was like, okay, cool. It's, gave me some sort of closure, but it is what it is. It's just a simple movie. But it was funny because I was listening to episode 1 and just thinking of all the things that changed throughout the years. Like 32 years ago, 10 years ago, I was 32. I didn't have any kids. Actually, that's not true. My wife was pregnant with my son because it was 2013, December 10th of 2013. She was pregnant with my oldest, my son, he's 9 and he's going to be 10 in April. So yeah, so she was pregnant. So I was going to be a father. So that was there. But now my son's 9, almost going to be 10 in April. I have a daughter who's 7 and my baby boy who's 4. Maybe he's not a baby, but my toddler, my youngest, is my baby. And just kind of things different. You see things a little different. So I did watch the episode a little differently because I was kind of rooting for the kids a little more, because when I was watching it as a kid in 1991, I was rooting for the kids because I was a kid. When I watched it in 32, when I had no kids, it was like, oh yeah, okay, it's interesting. But now that I have 3 kids, I could get that little root again. Like, okay, yeah, like you want the parents to get together or whatnot. But anyways, in those 10 years, 3 kids, still married. I've become a licensed therapist. I'm a professor at a college. A lot of things have changed. So it's just kind of funny looking back and reviewing this movie again. Okay, so that's all I want for Christmas. But in my first episode, I reviewed a movie and an episode. And the episode I reviewed is from one of my favorite TV shows of all time, if not my favorite TV shows of all time, which is The Simpsons. And the very first episode, just like Guys Night Lab's first episode, was a Christmas episode, and it was Simpsons roasting on an open fire. It's very simple. A lot of TV shows, movies from the 80s were very simple. Homer doesn't get his Christmas bonus. Marge has to use all her Christmas savings to get a tattoo removal from Bart. But let's just start a little more. It starts with the kid, or the Homer and Marge going to the school to see the kids perform their Christmas concerts and everything. And that's a lost art. Like, I was asking my kids, I was like, do you guys have like any Christmas concerts? And I know the kindergartners do, but the youngest is in TK, my daughter's in fourth, no, my daughter's in second, and my oldest is in fourth. And they don't have any only the kindergartners have like a Christmas concert, but no one else. And I remember when I was a kid, like everyone had a concert, but now it's like I don't know, like if it's just like they don't want to like offend anyone or whatever, or I don't know, but just call it a holiday concert. Most parents want to see their kids do some sort of performance for Christmas or the holidays or whatever you want to call it. But the point is, like, most parents are excited to do that. If they're trying to be politically correct or who knows what, like, then the parents that don't want to do it, or the parents that don't want their kids to do it, don't let them do it. You know, these are memories you don't want to miss out on. But anyway, so The Simpsons, going on my little soapbox there. But The Simpsons, it starts with that, like the kids' Christmas concert, holiday concert, whatever. And you get an introduction of who Marge and Homer and Bart and Lisa and Grandpa, and not Santa's Little Helper yet because they don't have him yet, and Snowball too. You meet the Flanderses very briefly. You know, you don't really know who these characters are established. You know, Barney's in the episode, Moe, Mr. Burns. But they're very just like light. You don't see their character. So anyways, Homer doesn't get his Christmas bonus, so he's relying on all the extra money that Marge has saved. But Marge has to use her money because Bart got a tattoo because he has a fake ID and he thought he wanted a tattoo that says "I love Mom" or something like that. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, I get it that she wanted to get the laser, but it's like, you know, that tattoo wasn't going anywhere. Why didn't she just do the laser after Christmas? I don't know. But obviously I'm just looking too much into it. Anyway, so Homer gets a job as a Secret Santa. He's got to, like, you know, stretch the dollar, make it last, cut down a Christmas tree, all that stuff. And trust me, I've been there. I've been there when we have no money in the bank. It's the end of the year for Christmas and whatnot. I've been there as a child. I've been there as a husband and kind of a father. Like, I'm okay now. And we were kind of okay, like, when our kids were younger, but when I first got married, it was rough. There was some times where it's like, woo. So anyways, Homer becomes a Santa, and Bart, and he's, you know, stretching the dollar to try to give his kids a good Christmas. Bart figures out that Homer's a Santa, and then Homer only gets $13 on payday. They go to a racetrack. Homer puts all the money. Well, Barney tells him to put him on a greyhound called Whirlwind. It's a 10-to-1 shot, but Homer goes with his gut on a last-minute scratch. That's Santa's Little Helper. He thinks it's an omen. It's not. Santa's Little Helper loses, gets kicked out of the dog track, goes to The Simpsons. They bring the dog home, and now we meet our new character, Santa's Little Helper. But the kids love it because they've always wanted a dog, just like my kids. They're like, can we get a dog for Christmas or a cat? It's like, that's probably like all they want. No, we can't. But that's The Simpsons. That's the very first episode. It's very simple. And they just kind of introduce the characters. It's a Christmas episode, a lot of Christmas themes. So it's very, very simple. But it's got a special place in everyone's heart, especially because it's a Christmas episode and it's the first Simpsons ever. So people are always going to go back to it. It started my love for The Simpsons, and yeah, it's not like an amazing episode where it's like there's a lot of gags, and it's not like funny where there's, you know, Simpsons hit their stride in like season 4, season 5, 6. But it's very nostalgic and it's very atmospheric for Christmas, and it's what got the ball rolling. So definitely check out Simpsons Roasted on an Open Fire and All I Want for Christmas. Once again, I just gave very simple reviews, just like I did in my very first episode. But I wanted to take a minute to go back and be like, hey, in 100 episodes, there have been a lot of things that we've reviewed. I've done a few 5-minute reviews. I did a March Madness that I never finished. We've kind of kept on tab with our Halloween themes and our top 80s, top 70s, Halloween nights, stuff like that. Been trying to get more content out there thankful for Thanksgiving, 12 Days of Christmas. After Christmas, I'm going to be giving my my top 5 movies of the year. And then what I'm really hoping to do is just to continue putting out more content. It's hard when you're a husband and father and have work and stuff like that. But I feel like I want to. And so I'm going to be doing some 5-minute reviews and stuff like that throughout the year. So definitely join me in the new coming year. But before that, we are not done yet. Okay. It's my 100th episode. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment. And here's what's going to happen. I'm going to try to, if people leave some comments and I could find a subscriber in the comment section, I'm going to try to give someone a gift card on Christmas Eve. So on Saturday, I'm going to be reviewing the Office Yankee Swap episode. And then on Christmas Eve, I'm going to be reviewing the coup de grace of Christmas movies. One of my favorite, not one of my favorite Christmas movie of all time. And I watch it every Christmas. It's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's going to be on Christmas Eve. And if you tune in for that, I will let you know who won the gift card and which subscriber, who it was. But remember, leave some comments, subscribe, so I know who to give it to, because I can't, I guess I can randomly choose one, but I have to make sure I know it's someone and someone can reach out and whatnot. So anyways, thank you for listening. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you keep listening and leaving comments and thoughts and ideas and stuff like that. I appreciate it. And I just do this for fun. I do this for you guys to listen, and I do it for people to kind of look back and be like, okay, this guy's not crazy, or maybe he is. I don't know. But that at the end of the day, I do it for myself, because I like to go back and listen to my own episodes and be like, how much I changed. And I hope my kids listen to this sometime, and when they're older, and think like, that was kind of cool. I don't know. I hope so. But anyways, take care, everybody. Merry Christmas. And we have 2 more 12 days of Christmas. Please like, subscribe, leave some comments, and I will catch you on the next one. All right. Goodbye.